Hey y'all, it's D. I'm here today with a heavy heart. I saw on TV 14 children killed, one teacher. And everybody is screaming up in arms about gun control. I'd like to talk about desensitization. I can't pronounce words. Desensitization. Where your kids with their video games are out there playing like, I don't know, what is it, Call of Duty 10 by now? Where they're running around shooting each other and killing each other. Desensitized from the actual act. Grand Theft Auto, what is it, 14 or 15 by now? Where they're running around the streets stealing stuff and killing people. Halo, where they're running around in wars and killing things. All these video games, and much more go on. Hunting games, where they're killing animals. All being desensitized to the way things need to be taught to them so they know the way from right and wrong. I don't understand it. Okay, our government, we have to have gun control for what? They're going to get the guns anyway. There's a legal way and an illegal way. And the illegal way is 10 times faster than the legal way. You know, here in Texas, they're yelling about, okay, we need to go and have background checks. We already have background checks. You know, you buy a gun, you fill out a background check, they threw it through the phone. Either comes back in 5 days or 5 minutes or three days later, depending on what your record looks like. So we have the background checks, but we don't have desensitization from the video games to desensitize your kids. You're desensitizing your kids from murder by letting them play these games like Call of Duties and Grand Theft Autos and hunting games and whatever else is out there. There's a game called Sharpshooter. I can download it on my phone right now. I shoot somebody with that game, it slows it down and shows the bullet going through their head and out the backside with the splatter on it. And any one of your kids can download this game. What kind of game is that we have to have sick individuals that make up games like this for our kids to play? I remember when I first got a video, I've got, what was it, the first one out there, the Atari, and we're playing ping pong and Space Invaders and things like that. Okay, where you weren't really doing anything wrong. Nowadays, it's, shoot this guy in the head. Oh, wait, we can slow it down and show you the kill angle in the shot and what it does to the brain. You know, I was sitting there one day, oh man, this had to be about 5 years ago. Call of Duty, PlayStation, I think it was a PlayStation, the first PlayStation to come out. They're on Call of Duty, and my son, who at the time was about 25, my son-in-law, who is somewhere around 30, and my nephew, who's 26, are all sitting there playing this Call of Duty game. And they're like, oh wow, my kill ratio is great. I got 14 and only died 6 times. In real life, there's no reset button to when you're gonna die. In real life, you're not gonna get that 14 kills. So why show these games and have your kids play these games and desensitize your kids to these acts? And this is what the government needs to look at. Because I can look at, okay, let's take the guns away. Yeah, whatever. They're still going to get them. They're on the street. Illegally, they'll get the guns if they want them. You need to take the video games away first. Take away all these stupid video games like Sniper and Call of Duty and, Grand Theft Auto and hunting games and whatever else is out there that shows kids how to kill. And only allow them to play the decent games like golf, the little speed games with the Mario Brothers running around on golf carts or whatever. Things like that's not going to teach them how to kill. It worries me of what this country has come to in the last 20 years. Because it really does scare me with all this technology out and what we're teaching our kids and desensitizing our kids to, and we allow it. We need to back up, say, well, wait a minute. Right now, I'm sitting in a park. I've been sitting in the same park for every day for a week. I'm going to pan around and show you this beautiful park right here. You can see it. There's a lake across the street where they do boating and fishing, the whole 9 yards. I have not seen one child out here to play in 8 days. I'll be back this weekend. I'll be sitting here this weekend. I love this place. It's got shady places. I live in my van with my wife. We travel, and we love how beautiful this park is. But why is it that you will not bring your kids out to play in a park? I understand mommy and daddy have to work. I understand that. But you know what, Mr. Job Owner? Saturdays and Sundays are for the kids. Okay, mandatory overtime doesn't get anything done if your kids are out here shooting people up in schools. Because they don't have a family, they have a video game that's a babysitter. It's just ridiculous. And I'm kind of fed up with the video games. I was fed up with the video games back when my kids had them. I ran one over with my car because they want to get up and go mow the lawn and get out and play. I want to buy another one. They waited until they were over 18 to buy their own video games. And of course, my wife stopped me from running those over because I didn't want my wife to see those. I'm a man of God. I try to be. But this upsets me. 14 children dead and 1 adult. And for what? Something that could have been stopped. I found out this morning from my brother, who's at my nephew's house, their 3-year-old has a 9-inch tablet that she's allowed to play with. On this 9-inch tablet has the Disney Channel, which is cool. Okay. Has the Discovery Channel and a bunch of other channels. But have you watched Discovery Channel lately? It's about paranormal. It's about digging up gold. And it's about Naked and Afraid. And survival. And things of that nature. Why do I want my 3-year-old to watch that? I understand, you got to keep up with the rat race, because your kid has to know how to use different things by the time she's in kindergarten. Because nowadays, instead of your kid being 3, 5, 6, 7 and being a kid outside playing and, running around and playing tag and things, they're in the house playing video games and learning how to mass murder people. And, it's just ridiculous. Who puts these games out? Does anybody have a freaking brain in their head to what they're doing? I don't think so. So I say to you, Mr. President, Miss Vice President, you need to stop these video games from ever entering the marketplace where my kids can play them, or your kids can play them, or anybody else's kids can play them, and become I'm sorry, I'm getting a little caught up in this. When I get on the pulpit, I get a little bit frustrated and I get a little bit way out there. And my doctor took me away from that because he said, I got a bad heart, so I got to be careful. But when you're desensitizing your kids from murder and mayhem, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. When you take your kids from learning about God, learning how to fish the proper way with their parents, like my parents taught me how to fish. I taught my son how to fish. Okay? It's wrong. Taking and making my mom and dad, or your mom and dad, or the kids' mom and dads work 7 days a week, sometimes 12-hour days, because you can't keep up with demand. That's your problem for taking those big things, Mr. Owners, and saying, I can do these contracts. You need to slow them down and say, hey, look, my people need to be with their children at least on Saturday and Sunday. If not during the day on the week, because they need to be home during the week. What happened to the parents? Where did it go when it came down to mom and dad have to go to work every day instead of mom staying home and teaching her children? Or dad staying home and teaching their children. Anyway, nowadays, I'm not going to say mom has to do it. Mom or dad, one of the parents has to stay home and take care of their children. Instead, you're putting your children in somebody else's care. You're paying them, I don't know, $200-$300 a week to take care of your kid. So that makes you have to work even harder so you can pay for your kid to be taken care of before you can pay for your house and your food and your lights and your phones and everything else. Meanwhile, at the age of 3, your kid's got a tablet. At the age of 5, your kid's got a phone. I understand you want your kid to have a phone, but they still have flip phones where there's no video games on them. Okay, you don't need texting, you need unlimited calling. So you can locate your kid and know what your kid is doing if you need to do that. They don't need to have these advanced cell phones like the one in my hand to say, oh, I'm going to go play these video games. I'm going to learn how to kill. I'm not going to care what I kill. I'm just going to learn how to kill. 14 children and 1 adult here in Texas in the last couple of days. Just makes me sick. Because instead of looking at the real problem, the root of the problem, we're looking at gun control, gun control, gun control. Guns don't kill people, people kill people. Gun is the tool they use to do it. Where did they get the gun? Were they able to go to the store and buy it, or did they buy it from the next door neighbor or from the guy down the street or the guy that's got it in the back of his car? Where did they buy the guns from? Did they steal it from somebody? Well, you already taught them about Grand Theft Auto and stealing cars and shooting guys and killing people so you can do what you got to do, run them over, you get 1,000 points. Okay, what's up with this? I mean, this is probably the longest video I ever did. I'm going to do a bunch more because I've been putting off and putting off. My wife has been sick. I've been sick. It's hard for me to get up here and preach to people. I'm not trying to preach to you. I'm trying to talk to you. I'm trying to make it a valuable lesson. Okay, what's your kid eating for dinner? Are you making dinner, or are you giving him a frozen meal and set him down in front of the video game so he can play whatever game he wants to play? When was the last time you took your kid out to a park and ran around and played ball? Frisbee? Anything? Bring your kids out. This is a beautiful park. Paid for by your townships here in Mineola, and you're not using it. I don't understand. It's a beautiful park. There's a beautiful lake right across the street where you can put your kids in a boat, take your kids down the river, go fishing, go swimming, do whatever you want to do and have a good day. Instead of sitting at home and watching them, oh man, I killed 25, I only died 11 times. Woo, yeah, that's great. That's awesome. That's just what I want to hear my kids say, right? You have to know what's going on in your family's lives. Okay, and I'm not saying the government should step in and stop everything. It's a helpful thing, yes. But at the same time, you have to be the parent. You have to be the person that says, no, my kids don't play these video games. They're not even coming in my house. Take the ones I got and throw them in the trash can. That's what has to be done. Please school your kids and teach your kids the right way. Bring them out here to parks like this one that are beautiful, that are empty. Have a barbecue. Play frisbee, play ball, do something fun. Don't let them sit at home and say, oh yeah, I just killed 15 people, but I only died 12 times. Just makes me sick, it really does. Makes me tired of wanting to be here on this earth sometimes. And I'll tell you, I've been fighting depression. I have to, because, I've been not be able to do a lot through the last couple of years. And that's why I'm getting back on here. I changed the format on my show to this stuff. Because really, maybe if I can get 3 people to listen, that's 3 to 6 kids that aren't going to go out killing people when they get older. They need to learn what love is. Having kids going to work every day and your kids are sitting in somebody else's house, that's not love. That's teaching your kids how to hate you. I know. I did it. For years with my son. My son really didn't know me until he turned 18, 19. He came to live with me. Then he got to know me, I got to know him. We had to start all over again because he lived with my ex-wife. Yes, I was married once before. But you really need to have one person at home at all times to teach the kid what love is, to teach the kid what playing baseball is, playing football, playing soccer, going out here, take a stick and an old rim from a tire and running on down the street like we used to do when we were kids. They still do it over in Africa. And the kids have a ball with it. Let them have a box and duct tape and go to town. I don't remember how many times me and my brother built a space shuttle when we were kids out of boxes and had a ball in there for hours. Because we were astronauts. We were going to the moon. But we weren't the only ones playing it. My mom and dad got in on it. Not so much my dad as my mom. I remember my dad comes home one time. We built the space shuttle out of the boxes. He knew we had that. But Mom built a crater in the middle of the living room so we could experience being on the moon and climbing in and out of the crater. It was just funny as all get out. We weren't thinking about murdering people. 14 children and 1 adult. We weren't thinking about that. We were thinking about having fun. We were thinking about being creative. I remember one time my brother says, let's be farmers. So my mom took a big old cut out of cardboard and took a glove and poked little holes in it, filled that glove with water, and painted it as a cow. We helped her do it because we made it into a cow. And then we could milk the cow because we had the otter, which was the glove. Because we had to learn how to milk cows. Now, was that a fun game? Yes, it was. Did it cost a lot of money? No, it didn't. To make it was one sawhorse, a big old piece of cardboard she got from, I think it was Woolworths at the time, because we didn't have a Walmart. A little bit of paint and a glove. I think the whole thing might have cost back then in those days maybe $1.50. It might cost $5 nowadays. But it was fun. We had a ball doing it. Hell, my friends came over. Okay, we did Cub Scouts, which are no longer around. They're disbanded because, they're all molesting children. No, they're not. Priests are molesting children. No, they're not. Maybe 1 out of 100, if that. Okay, and those bad guys are usually taken care of. You know, a guy says hello to a lady nowadays. Oh, you're sexually harassing me. You're sensitizing sexual harassment, but you're desensitizing murder? Figure that out. 14 children dead and 1 adult. So this is what I put to my senators, my congressmen, my president, my vice president. People, please listen. If you're going to make a law against all these video games that have come out. If you destroy these bad video games and just leave the golf games and the baseball and the football and the decent games that kids can play and have a good time playing, and not the murderous scumbag games that you got out here, our kids won't be desensitized to picking up a gun and thinking it's a video game and walking into a school and shooting 14 kids and one adult. An 18-year-old kid gave up the rest of his life because of this. Who is there to find out what was mentally wrong with this kid? Nobody knows. When I was in high school, I had guidance counselors I went and saw once a month. They were psychologists. They made sure us kids were of the right mind. We don't have that in school no more. We used to have to go out and do gym and have a good time, running around with our friends, getting sweaty every day. We don't have that no more. You know, history. They took away history. Yeah, it's his story, but it's his stories from many different people, so you can learn about history. That's like learning about the Bible. You learn from your parents and your priest or your minister or your preacher, your reverend. You learn about God. Is God a bad thing? No. He teaches the right way to live, and you live your life as best as you can. Am I saying I'm perfect? No, I cuss, I swear, I stomp my feet, I yell like a little kid sometimes. Yeah. But I'm not out here shooting people. 14 dead and one adult. So with this is going pretty long. My sermons usually do. Be talking to people usually do. So with this, I want to leave you with this. Lord, please help us. Guide us through these troubled times. Help us with getting these evil video games from our children so they're not desensitized to murder anymore. Help us keep guns out of their reach by putting them in proper gun safes. To learning how to take our kids out and play and have a good time and letting them have a real life instead of a life of these screens, of tablets and things of this nature. Please, Lord, help us all. In your name I pray. Amen. God bless y'all. Thank you for watching this video. I'm sorry if it offended anybody, and I apologize deeply, but it just had to come off my mind. Thank y'all very much.